What's going on, guys? I'm the Walrus Jedi, and welcome to another video. In today's video, I will be going over the Mandalorian and Grogu information and seeing what this movie's about. If you like these kinds of videos, then please consider liking and subscribing and hitting the notification bell for more, as well as you can support the channel on Patreon. A link to that in the description, as well as I have an eBay store, so you can check that out. A link to that in the description as well. Without further ado, let's just get to the information. The Mandalorian and Grogu is an upcoming American film directed by Jon Favreau and co-written by Favreau and Dave Filoni, produced by Lucasfilm and set to be distributed by Walt Disney. It is set in the Star Wars franchise, Disney Star Wars, and a continuation of the Disney Plus series The Mandalorian. The film stars Pedro Pascal as Din Djarin / The Mandalorian alongside Sigourney Weaver, Jeremy Allen White, and Johnny Coyne. Favreau and Filoni had written a fourth season of The Mandalorian by February 2023, but production on the season was delayed by the strike. During this time, Lucasfilm reevaluated their plans for the franchise and decided to prioritize a Mandalorian film over the fourth season. The Mandalorian and Grogu was announced in January 2024. Filming began in California by August 2024 and was completed by that December. The Mandalorian and Grogu is scheduled to be released in the United States on May 22nd, 2026. From what I've heard about this movie, it just sounds like it's basically an episode of The Mandalorian, but slightly expanded. The plot doesn't sound that interesting. I'm sure we'll get into it in this. So it's going to have, you got Pedro as Mando, Grogu, Sigourney Weaver, Jeremy Allen White as Rhoda the Hutt, and Johnny Coyne as an Imperial warlord. We'll go with development. While production on the fourth season was delayed by the strikes, Lucasfilm reevaluated their plans with the franchise and decided to prioritize a Mando film instead. The studio announced the film in January 2024, Favreau to direct, co-write with Filoni, and Kennedy, Filoni, and Ian Bryce as producers. Filming was expected to begin that June, making it the first Star Wars film to move forward since Rise of Skywalker. Pascal celebrated the film's announcement by sharing a concept art for it. He was expected to reprise his role blah 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 during an earnings call in February 2024. Bob Iger said the film would likely be released in 2026. Okay, great. Blah blah blah. Alright, filming principal photography was scheduled to begin in June under the working title Thunder Alley and was expected to last for 92 days. The film had approximately 54 cast members, 3,500 background extras, and 500 crew members. Favreau and Filoni said in early August that filming had begun several weeks earlier. At that time, the character Garazeb Zeb Aurelios from Rebels was revealed to be appearing along with the Anzellan species from Rise of Skywalker in the third season of The Mandalorian. A new version of the Razor Crest, the Mandalorian ship which was destroyed in the second season of the series, was also set to appear in the film. Weaver confirmed her casting at the end of August, filming wrapped by the start of December 2024. Why are they bringing back if you're going to blow it up, and he has a ship, so he's going to get a new Razor Crest. Okay, that's whatever. Post-production. Mid-December, Johnny Coyne was revealed to be reprising his role as an Imperial warlord from the third season of The Mandalorian. Oh, cool. Jeremy Allen White was cast as the voice of Rhoda the Hutt. Marketing. So here it says that Christian Harloff says that the villain for The Mandalorian and Grogu will be bounty hunter Embo, who appeared in multiple Star Wars The Clone Wars series episodes. Filoni voiced Embo in Clone Wars and will reportedly return to do the same in The Mandalorian and Grogu. He also believes that Din and Grogu being hired to rescue Rhoda the Hutt, while Embo has been hired to kill Rhoda. Bespin Bulletin backed Harloff's reporting, noting that they heard the same plot details. The online publication added that they believe Embo is hired by Hutts, potentially the two who appeared in Book of Boba Fett. However, Bespin Bulletin heard conflicting information about who hired Din. They were once told Din Djarin was hired by the Hutts, but were later told it was the Republic, with Zeb reportedly assisting Din Djarin on his mission. Bespin Bulletin notes perhaps this leads to Din Djarin being hired by the Republic, but admits this is purely speculative. Alright. It sounds like the plot is Din and Grogu are hired by somebody, Hutts, the Republic, it doesn't really matter, to go get Rada the Hutt. And they have to contend with a bounty hunter from the Clone Wars. So, yeah, that's the plot. So it just doesn't sound like a movie plot. It sounds like an episode of a TV show, which is what it is. I don't think this is really that exciting. We'll see when we get a trailer. I'm sure at Star Wars Celebration they'll drop a trailer. Does this have anything? First logo. Okay. I mean, ooh, neat. Okay. Well, that's basically all the information on the Mandalorian and Grogu that we have right now. So not a whole lot of stuff. So I enjoyed Mandalorian when it came out, but I don't know. It's lost its luster. Season 3 was definitely not very good, and Season 2 was not as good as the first one. So they're just, in terms of the Jon Favreau stuff, Star Wars shows, there's nothing to look forward to, really. It'll be interesting to see how well this Mandalorian and Grogu movie does at the box office. I don't think this movie costs very much. Let's look up the budget. According to the California Film Commission, Mando and Grogu has an overall production budget of just £166.4 million, it looks like. It received tax credits of $21.75 million US. Okay, so it's not the most expensive movie, but then again, Disney likes to underreport how much their movies cost. I would say this is most likely cheaper than any other Star Wars movie they've made, but still, it needs to make what? So it has a budget of 166. You got marketing, which would be about half of that, so like 215-ish, 220, let's just say 220. So basically needs to make roughly 500 million just to break even. I don't know if it'll do that. That's hard to say if it'll make 500 million. This movie might be lucky to get 200 or 300, just because Star Wars apathy has really set in and people just aren't interested in what Disney is producing Star Wars wise anymore. It'll be interesting. Well, I think that's all the information we have on the Mandalorian and Grogu. We're probably going to get more stuff at Star Wars Celebration trailer so we can see what the show looks like. It's probably just going to look kind of upscaled episode of the show. So let me know what your thoughts are on the Mandalorian and Grogu movie down below. Are you excited for it, or are you interested to see how it does? Are you excited to see it fail? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and until next time, thanks for watching.